Good afternoon, and welcome to today's Inclusion Works Lunch and Learn. Before we get started, here are a few reminders about the webinar. Please make sure you're using a computer or smartphone connected to the internet and the audio function is on and the volume is turned up. Please be sure your microphone is muted for the duration of the webinar. To ask questions, use the Q&A feature located on your control panel, and we will answer as many questions as time allows toward the end of the presentation. American Sign Language interpreters and closed captioning options are available for today's event. The American Sign Language interpreters for today are Danette Stillman Bridges and Susan King Lanier. For closed captioning options, select the closed caption feature located on your control panel. To adjust your video layout in screen view, select the view feature located in the top right-hand corner of your screen and choose the view that works best for you. Today's agenda topics include introductions and overview of the Provider Innovation Project and presentations from our participating employment service providers, OE Enterprises, Noose Enterprises, Albany Group Homes, and Vocational Opportunities of Cherokee. There will also be time for questions after the presentation. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Claire Colligan, IDD Employment Lead for IDD, TBI, and Olmsted Section of the Division of Mental Health, Developmental Disabilities, and Substance Use Services.
Thank you, Latoya. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy to see so many people joining us, even during these hot summer months. We still have lots of people coming to attend our Lunch and Learns. Today is a very special presentation. I am very excited to introduce you to our partners who provide employment services out in the community. And we have Amy Miller from OE. We have Zanelle Nichols from Noose Enterprises, Clyde Davis from Allegheny County Group Homes, and Magda Sanders from Vocational Opportunities of Cherokee. Next slide. So I want to first start by giving you a little bit of an overview, and we can go right to the next slide if you like, of the Provider Innovation Project. As we began our work with Inclusion Works, one of the things we did was to complete a landscape assessment with a gap analysis. And among the many partners we included in our assessments were agencies that provide employment services across the state. It won't be a surprise to most of you here today that the service providers face a number of obstacles and challenges as they try to make sure that the people that they serve can make informed choices about their work. As our partnership with Work Together NC out of UNC evolved, they were able to bring on board the WISE organization. And WISE is a nationally recognized company with innovation in the world of employment for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. With WISE, we launched the Provider Innovation Project, and this has allowed us to support cohorts of providers who wanted to grow and improve their operations to best serve people with IDD. The Innovation Project contains 5 milestones, and providers are paid as they reach each milestone. The goal is that the changes providers make now is going to set them up for both present and future success, and ultimately more CIE jobs for people in the community who want them. And as you can see, the program is very comprehensive. WISE is able to provide technical assistance and training to their participants based on the specifics of the agency, their people, their geographic location, and more. And as providers engage, they are also able to become experts, train more people in this process, and thereby constantly lifting the boat higher. The 5 milestones are very comprehensive and organized, and you can see here the progression from basic administrative organization to complex policy and action plans that will lead to more CIE jobs for those who want them. I want to tell you how important this project is and its participants. Everyone has been so important to us as they have brought Inclusion Works to new levels of service delivery. And I'm proud now to turn this over to Amy Miller, the first of our presenters today. Amy, thank you for being here.
Hello, thank you, Claire, for the introduction, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak to everyone about our provider innovations journey. You can go to the next slide. So we are OE Enterprises Incorporated. Next slide. We are located in Hillsborough, North Carolina. That's where our corporate office is. And in 1975, we actually were started by a group of families that were looking for what was going to happen to their loved one after graduation from high school. From there, we expanded our services. In 1981, we were incorporated as Orange Industries and are often still referred to by that term by our community. We became a private nonprofit in 1987, changing our name to OE Enterprises in 2005 after we expanded our services outside of Orange County into Alamance County. As I said, we are headquartered in Hillsborough, North Carolina, but we do have 3 Meaningful Day sites, one in Hillsborough, one in Burlington, and one in Asheboro. We serve approximately 600 individuals with disabilities annually across Orange County, Alamance County, Chatham, Randolph, Guilford, and Durham counties. We provide day support services, community networking, transition services, employment services, and organizational employment opportunities. Our mission is to enhance the lives of individuals with disabilities through advocacy, education, and employment. Next slide. So we were very excited to be selected for the first cohort of the Provider Innovations funding. It was a great opportunity for us to expand our mindset and grow on the practices that we already had in place for employment services. We strongly believed in competitive integrated employment and had been doing work services for a very long time within Orange County and the other areas that we began to serve. But what we were most excited about for this Provider Innovations funding is the opportunity to increase our CIE job placements. And that was through meaningful conversations with the individuals we serve, their families and guardians, as well as our staff. We were also excited that we were going to be able to increase our community partnership. As many of us may know, COVID was tough on organizations like us. OE had to actually shut our doors. We stayed open and provided services, but we closed in on ourselves because we had to protect those that we serve from the COVID epidemic. And so we needed to rebuild and reestablish those community partnerships. So through the Provider Innovations funding, we have really put in a conscientious effort to reach out. So we've hosted business after hours at our site. We have been presenting at various organizations events. We have had tables set up at career fairs and things like that. We've also been talking to our local university systems. And from this, we have seen an increase in job placements for our employment team. We've also seen an increase in the number of individuals that are learning about what OE does and what our organization is known for. I've actually, out of one event, had 3 separate individuals that approached me about becoming board members. So that has been a great benefit of the Provider Innovation funding. We've also seen an increase in self-determination. So we're having those conversations with the individuals we serve to let them know that they need to have choice and they need to determine the life path that they're going to follow. We've really concentrated on that authentic, informed choice. We've been training our staff on what informed choice actually is and what it is not, and having those conversations on how we can be sure that we are constantly at all times giving that informed choice, that it is not a simple yes or no question. It is really giving them the opportunity to learn. We're also seeing increased pay for the individuals that we serve within our day program. with growing, some of them gaining employment, some of them adding hours to their work that they already have. And just that ability to have that paycheck. As you all know, we all appreciate when payday comes. The other thing is building North Carolina's resources and pathways for CIE. So the thing that I was probably the most excited about for this Provider Innovations is that North Carolina is starting these conversations, and we're going to have our own subject matter experts that we can utilize, and we can help to drive where North Carolina goes as far as competitive integrated employment. We're going to be able to provide resources and help. And so with the first cohort and adding on the second cohort, there's going to be 12 providers that have walked this path and will be able to walk alongside other providers. Next slide. So what the Provider Innovations funding has done for us so far. So we took an opportunity and we did do the CIE assessments. 52 of those assessments were completed, and that was huge. And that took place because we had a conversation with our families, our guardians, and the individuals that we serve, and talked to them about that this signing up to participate in the CIE assessment was not saying, yes, definitely we're going to send our individual to work, we're going to go out into the community employment. It was just a tool to look at where we were. From there, we had 8 TTAP assessments completed. Those were very exciting. Historically, TTAPs have been used for individuals on the autism spectrum, but we have also found they're finding that they are beneficial for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities as well. From there, 8 individuals have been referred to EIPD for services. We have placed 9 Meaningful Day participants into CIE. We have completed some community asset mapping, and this is something that I'm working with my staff on. We've created a template that we're utilizing where we're putting all of our contacts, who we know in our communities, who do we know that owns a bakery, so that when we're looking for a job placement or a job sampling or even just a tour of a bakery, we have this resource that we can pull up and go, oh, our staff, Susan, knows somebody that owns a bakery, they're their neighbor. And so we're having those communications. We're also using our funding for windmill training. We have 1 staff member that will be windmill certified. And that is, if for those of you that are not familiar with it, it is a training that will help with employers. You teach them how to employ individuals with disabilities. So it's an awesome training. We've participated in WISE 101. We're also training our staff on the benefits counseling and DB 101. So we have some benefit counselors that are on site already trained, but then we're also staff that are not benefits counselors or certified benefits counselors. We're training them on how to use the DB 101. We've increased our community outreach, and we've really done some strong training, and we'll continue to do training on informed choice for our staff. And that is where we are. From here, I would like to turn it over to Zanelle Nichols from Noose Enterprises.
Thank you so much, Amy. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Zanelle Nichols. I'm the Executive Director of Noose Enterprises. Next slide, please. So who we are. We were established in 1981 and started services, providing services in 1982. We are located in Kinston, North Carolina, and we serve Lenoir County and some of the surrounding counties, Greene County, Pitt County, Duplin, and also trying to expand to some of the others. We do supported employment services, work adjustment training. We also do adult developmental vocational programs. We also have a psychosocial rehabilitation program, and then Meaningful Day or day support services. We work with EIPD, Trillium. We do or provide services for those with innovations waivers, as well as 1915I services. And we're currently supporting approximately 100 individuals over all of those programs. One thing that might be a little bit unique about us, I'm not sure, since we are somewhat rural, we do have transportation services as part of what we provide, and we have a fleet of about 6 vehicles, and we run 4 regular routes to pick people up to help bring them to us and then help get them to work. Next slide, please. What we're excited about, well, generally just the future, because just like OE and I'm sure many other organizations, we started out, with parents that have kids that were aging out of high school back in the day, and they tried to figure out what next steps would be. And at the time, sheltered workshops were the thing, and it was great for the time, but obviously times have changed, and we need to start looking at different opportunities. So for us, it's the phasing out of the shelter workshops, not that there's not a place for some of that, if that really is somebody's choice. But we should make sure that we actually offer people choice first. And if they are interested in competitive integrated employment, we need to do what we can to help them understand what that is and how to actually get a job out in the community. So with that, we started having different types of conversations with the individuals that are already in our programs, but also for anybody new coming in. So instead of just giving them the option of working on the production floor, now there's other conversations. What are their interests and what may they want to do later in life? I just went to a presentation at one of our Meaningful Day classrooms, and they are having those conversations about the future. And one day, one of the individuals would like to be a canine officer. I'm not sure we can get him there, but there's probably some things that we can do to help along the way for him to explore what that employment opportunity would look like. Other things that we are excited about is just getting our name out in the community. When I started as the executive director at News Enterprises just over a year ago, one of the articles I read about News, and everybody was very proud of it, said that News Enterprises is the best kept secret in Kinston. And while that may have been seen as a compliment, I actually think that was very much to our detriment as well, because people with disabilities are seen as individuals that should be sheltered or can only do these specific things. And we often forget that individuals with disabilities are people just like everybody else. They just happen to have some barriers to employment. And it's really our responsibility to figure out how we can help them overcome those barriers so that they can be successful in their communities and be part of the community. News's mission is to empower individuals with disabilities to achieve their highest level of independence through employment, training, and meaningful community inclusion. Next slide, please. So provider innovation and how it's going. Well, it was tough in the beginning because this is a whole new direction and a whole new vision, right? And when you bring something like that to an organization that have for the past 40 some years done something a certain way, it's always difficult to have those first conversations. And sometimes people look at you like, you have 6 arms and I don't know, horns, I don't know. So for anybody interested or for the next group of organizations going into this provider innovation project, just, go through the tough times. Yes, it's going to be tough, but there's some of us who've already gone through it. And there's definitely a support network with community, inclusion and with the WISE team, and they are a great resource. So several of our staff have completed the WISE 100, and we've also created our own learning or our own training paths in the WISE Learning Center, and is in the process of assigning those learning paths to our staff, and depending on where they are. So if it's somebody that's specifically just working on employment, the focus for their learning path will be more focused on the employment side of things. For some of the other staff, it'll be more focused on just general community inclusion and how to help people be part of their community. We've also referred individuals to EIPD, and then of course we also provide EIPD services, so we get those people back. They're assessed for services. If somebody is not necessarily a fit for EIPD at that time, they have the option of working in our facility and building up some of those skills so that at a later point, we can have those employment assessments again and potentially get them back to our EIPD so that we can ultimately help them achieve competitive integrated employment in the community. The goal for CIE is really to help the individuals obtain and maintain employment while we're providing them with the needed work readiness skills. During this past program year, we've completed 11 individuals complete supported employment or work adjustment training in Lenoir County, and they're working towards program closure, successful program closure. And we've had approximately 20 individuals who've already completed supported employment or work adjustment training and are thriving in their workplaces. We also had the opportunity to have 9 individuals complete a competitive integrated employment experience with Carolina ICE. And so those were individuals that are in our Meaningful Day program. And they were able to work on a special short-term project with Carolina ICE where they worked on their production floor with their staff. And we had some staff in the background to provide some additional supports. And that was a really great experience for everybody. And from there, that really helped generate more of those conversations about what people can do next. And, you know, not, like I mentioned before, not just working in the workshop, but what other opportunities are out there. And so with that, I'd like to pass it on to Kalia Davis from Allegheny Group Homes.
Thank you, Zanelle. Good afternoon. My name is Kalia Davis. I'm with Allegheny County Group Homes. I'm excited to share a little bit with you about our experience with the Provider Innovation Project and what the process has looked like so far for our organization. For us, this project has really been about learning, changing the way we think about employment, and most importantly, creating new opportunities for the individuals that we serve. So next slide. A little bit about who we are. Allegheny County Group Homes is a small provider located in rural Allegheny County, North Carolina. We're up in the northwestern part of the state. We've been in operation for over 40 years. We currently operate 2 group homes and as well as operating a day program and serve a total of 17 individuals currently. We provide several different services, including long-term community supports, innovation waiver services, community living and supports, life skills, and most recently, we have added the 1915I supported employment to our services. Community involvement has always been very important to us. We want the individuals that we serve to be active members in their community, whether it's through outings, community events, volunteering, and now CIE. Next slide, please. What we are excited about, there are 3 things that really kind of stand out when we think about what we're excited about. New opportunities for our individuals, expanding our knowledge on CIE, and making a difference in the lives to the individuals that we serve. Coming into this project, CIE was completely new territory for us. So the training and the support that we have received has helped us to better understand what community employment can look like for the individuals that we serve. It has also helped us to look at people differently in general, to focus on not just the support they need, but their individual interests, their strengths, their abilities, and what they can contribute, you know, as an employee. And of course, the most exciting part has been seeing everything that we're learning turn into actual employment opportunities for the individuals, and changing the mindset of even the you know, the staff, changing the mindsets of the families, and changing the mindsets of local employers. So thank you. Next slide. how it's going so far. The project has definitely given us some new perspectives. The WISE training has helped us tremendously in understanding the specifics of community employment and introduced us to different approaches for helping individuals find jobs that are a good match for them. One of the biggest things we've learned is the importance of employment optimism. Starting out with the belief that employment is possible, and then figuring out what supports that individual needs to make it successful. We've also increased our focus on community engagement and helping individuals access the services that they need to pursue employment. A few of us have completed the WISE 100-acre certification, and the interest in employment assessments have been especially helpful. They allowed us to learn more about what each person actually wanted from employment rather than simply looking for whatever job happened to be available. And we've started seeing results. Two individuals began CIE employment in July, and we have a third individual that is still working towards this goal. I know that sounds like a small number, but for a small organization who, just has 17 people right now, that's a big number for us. And those placements are a meaningful step forward. So next slide. New opportunities. Christine is one of our individuals who has started a CIE job in July. It was exciting in talking with her and asking her what she liked about working. Her first answer wasn't even about earning a paycheck. She talked about getting to know her coworkers, getting out in the community, and feeling like she was an important part of a team. However, the paycheck was pretty exciting for her too. And she expressed that she is already using some of those earnings to get a head start on her Christmas shopping. So I think her experience shows why these opportunities matter. Employment isn't just about having a job. We all know that. It's about the relationships, the independence, belonging, and having money that you have earned, doing something that you enjoy and that is important to you. So, next slide. Another great opportunity has been in new partnerships. We've been developing a new partnership with employers in the community. This in general is the Roaring Gap Club. They gave us some wonderful feedback about working with our two individuals that are now in CIE employment. They described them as valuable members of the team who provide meaningful support, have positive attitudes, and are willing to help. They also specifically recognize the professionalism and the collaboration of our support staff. So this feedback means a lot to us, because successful supported employment isn't just about finding someone a job. It's about creating a partnership that works for the individual, the employer, and the support team. Our hope is that we will continue to make more successful, create more successful partnerships like this that will open more doors in the future for the individuals we serve. Next slide. I want to finish by saying how thankful we are that we've had the opportunity to participate in the Provider Innovation Project. The WISE trainings have given us knowledge and practical tools that we can use long after this project ends. So we've certainly had challenges along the way, learning the new service requirements, working through the authorizations, and changing the long-standing mindsets. That stuff doesn't all happen overnight, but we've had a lot of support, throughout this process. I think the biggest change is that we now feel that we are more prepared and confident to help the individuals we serve explore CIE. Seeing these individuals become excited about their jobs, and developing relationships, with coworkers, and earning their own money, doing something that they enjoy doing, and becoming more connected in the community is why we're doing this. So we are very grateful for the opportunity, and we're excited to, continue building on what we've started. So thank you. And I will be handing it off to, I think, Latana, Sasha, and Magda.
Hello, everybody. We are from Vocational Opportunities of Cherokee, and my name is Magda Sanders, and I would like to introduce our Executive Director, Latona Plummer, and our Assistant Director, Sasha Jumper. Yes. So we can go to the next slide. And who we are. We are a very small agency located in Kuala Boundary. This is the far west side of North Carolina. We are, and you see VOC, that's how we call ourselves. We abbreviate our long name to VOC, and that's how we are known in the community. We're a private and nonprofit corporation, and we are governed by the board of directors. And we are an entity of the Eastern Band of the Cherokee Indians. VOC was established in 1973 to provide vocational rehabilitation services to all members of the EBCI of the tribe. But these services extended with years to other counties. Currently, our clients come from Jackson County, Swain County, Graham County, and from Kuala Boundary. Many of our staff members are Native American, or they are parents, like myself, of Native children. That helps us to be culturally aware to our clients we serve and to our community. Many of our clients are also Native American, but since our door is open to clients from other counties, our individuals don't need to be enrolled members of the tribe. The services that we offer currently are the community integration services, and that's long-term community supports and 1959 waiver, and that's community living and supports. We also offer vocational training, and that goes through the 1959 waiver, supported employment, also through LTCS if it's a part of the meaningful day for our clients. And as well, we work with clients referred to us through the Cherokee Tribal Vocational Rehabilitation Services, CTVRS. We also have vocational evaluation services. And that's also done primarily to the clients referred to us through CTVRS. VOC also has services like business contract services and staffing services. Next slide. What we are excited about, we are very, very excited for all the new employment opportunities. We mostly, prior to this project, we mostly focused on meaningful day, on community inclusion, not so much on employment, just because it wasn't really on the radar for our clients or their guardians. But with the project, everybody in the community started to kind of focus more on CIE, us as a provider, the clients, their families. And we continuously expand the opportunities through being as visible as we can, having through advocacy and outreach. We participate in multitude of community events, activities. We do lots of volunteering in Cherokee. We are making sure that our clients are visible, that they're out there, and we did notice the community. They reach out to us if they need volunteers, or if they have somebody interested in the services. And we've been building the partnerships with the community, and that's through, for example, the inclusive hiring workshops for employers. That started as a UNC graduate students project, and then after that it became our VOC's project with the help from our tribal program, Public Health and Human Services, Quality Improvement Department. So we try to offer these classes to the employers every 3 months, or if needed. And through that, we also got some, through those classes, we gained employers for our clients. We're also members of the Cherokee Indian Hospital Authority IDD and Autism Project steering committee, and we also serve on multiple subcommittees to that project. And that goal is to bring meaningful services for tribal members with IDD. That also includes employment. Like I said, we do all kinds of outreach activities wherever we can. We're always present to make sure that everybody remembers our faces. And we are also very, very excited. 90% of my clients submitted their consent forms, and guardians or parents or themselves filled out the interest questionnaires for employment. So we're looking forward to for those assessments to actually happen very soon. So we're also excited because our team became very knowledgeable in the subject of CIE. We were excited to keep on learning with WISE. We are excited to look at our staff getting more confident in what they do. And here you can see some pictures of our outreach and our workers, our folks hired in a CIE setting. Next slide. Okay, so how the provider innovation going? I wouldn't say we love to study, but looking at that, you might think that we love to study. Yes, 3 of us completed WISE 100 series. I also completed the 200 series, that it's even more intense and advanced continuation of the 100. I completed also self-employment course with WISE. Another person completed plan to placement, which was also great. And all my staff, they participate in learning center offerings. They all completed 30, 60, and some of them are on 90-day onboarding learning paths, and also other trainings available through WISE. And all that learning, it just made us more confident in our conversations with the community, with the employers. Our planning became also clearer and more focused on the subject matter. We are able to counsel the parents, guardians, and the clients on their benefits, how that it will impact them through what we learned with the 100 series, as well as through the DB 101. And we're also planning on bringing that class to our parents. We'll invite the parents and we'll do it as a group activity to show them that it's not that scary and everybody can work and still keep their benefits. Another great thing that came out from the project, one staff member and one client who completed the 100 practicum, we were asked to be on the National Website Portfolio Pilot Project Advisory Board. That's because we worked on the website for a job seeker, and with that experience, we now will be on the advisory board for the project. And I just want to give a shout out to some of the champions, of the employment champions. The Cherokee Historical Association, if you are familiar with with Cherokee, we are a tourist town and very cultural. And the Cherokee Historical Association is a great place where they have the Indian village and they have the outdoor drama. And currently we have 3 folks employed in a CAE setting with them. And they were our first champion. They were our first employer. And they came prepared and they really wanted our folks to work with them. Then, of course, I want to mention EBCI PHHS again, as it started as help with the employers workshops. They also really fought to have one of our guys work with them. It's an internship position, but they're looking into expanding it or into having that person there with them at all times. They also help with outreach through the other tribal programs, like Youth Center, for example, or the Sequoia National Golf Club. We're working with them to make it possible for other clients. Hospital is also interested in CIE. But I also want to mention that we also hire, we have 3 folks working also in a CIE setting at our agency, and one who works in a non-CIE setting. And for him, it's just his choice and his age, and he's very happy where he's at. Next slide. That might be. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Magda. Thank you so much, everyone, for these presentations. I want to just say again, as you can see, these agencies participating in the program have made amazing strides in training and structural change and honoring choice, education, and awareness, both for themselves and their members, but also for the community at large. I myself have had the opportunity to visit some of these sites and see the work that's happening. All of these places are unique. They all have their own strengths. They all have their own challenges. But it is overwhelming to see the commitment and the dedication of everyone involved. And I thank all of them here for really being a part of this today and sharing this work with us. I would like to turn it over for Q&A. And currently I see one question from Janet in the chat, and Janet wants to know, do each of these locations have a benefits counselor that help guide clients, guardians, and staff regarding benefits? That is an excellent question. Amy, will you take it first? Because I'm aware of your situation.
Yes, hi. We actually at OE have multiple certified benefits counselors that we have on staff. So just recently we had an individual that needed guidance. And so we encourage them to also look at DB 101 prior to meeting with us so that they have a better understanding and can communicate their needs and what's going on with their benefits. But yes, we have multiple.
And anybody else on the call want to talk about the way you're addressing benefits counseling?
I'll go. So we do not have a benefits counselor. We look at DB 101 and we try and refer people out. But part of what we are going to do, the money from the Provider Innovation Project is we are actually going to use some of that money to help pay for one, maybe two of our staff to become benefits counselors, just because we think that would be a better service to the individuals that we support.
Thank you so much. Anybody else on the call want to answer and talk about benefits counseling? I will also say from an administrative and leadership perspective that Inclusion Works is trying very hard. We are working with our NC-APSI counterparts to make sure that that certification for benefits counseling will be available to all of the participants in the Provider Innovation Program, but also more being able to have the opportunity to offer more benefits counseling trainings as well as we go forward. So stay posted with that. We'll be letting people know when we have the opportunity to have more of the certified benefits counselor training. We understand how much of an issue this is in our state and how much the impact of benefits can affect whether or not a person feels confident that they can hold down a job. Thank you, Janet. That's a great question. Other questions? Okay. If there are no other questions, I would like to thank everyone for joining today, and I will pass it back to LaToya.
Thank you, Claire. The recording and presentation slides for today's event will be posted on the Inclusion Works website. For more information and resources, stay connected with Inclusion Works by attending our Lunch and Learns, visiting our website, and joining our mailing list. The links are included in the chat. There will be a brief survey following today's webinar, and we would appreciate your time completing it. The next Lunch and Learn will be on Wednesday, October 21st at noon, and we hope you will join us then. This concludes our webinar for today. Thank you for attending.